Today is Sunday, January 5th, and today I learned that your motive for doing things is everything, kind of. Your motive for doing things is very important, and that kind of goes hand in hand with your mindset for doing things. Because your actions are following your mind and your heart. Your actions are following your motives and your mindsets and what you believe is to be true, and your actions follow that. I think that's very important because it shows us the importance of making sure our mindset is set right and making sure that we're not putting things in our mind that we shouldn't be putting in our mind, because ultimately that's going to lead to actions. But also it kind of exposes, I was thinking about it, it kind of exposes myself. Because I wanted to, a lot of times we want to do something good, but we have a wrong motive for it. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that thing, because it's ultimately a good thing, but you need to check your motives. I'm kind of thinking of an input-output kind of thing. So what you put in your mind, right, what you absorb, what you learn and accept and believe, that goes in your mind, and then that ultimately results in your actions. And I think that's why it's so important to be memorizing the Bible and reading the Bible a ton, being super familiar with that, and not being so familiar with I don't know, other stuff, worldly things. Because it's very hard to be taught and be super deep into something without it letting affect your mindset and ultimately your actions. So if you want to change your actions, then you can do all of these external things that I talk about a lot, right? You're trying to focus really deeply, you're trying to have a true why for those things, trying to work on it daily. Those are all really helpful. But ultimately, if you want to do something, then you have to change your mindset about it. You have to change your motives for it. That's why thinking about the why is important, because it gets to the root. It gets to the, why do you actually want to do this? What is your motive for doing this? What is your motive? What is your purpose? What is your mindset for doing this certain action? So if you want to do a certain action more, it's very important to have your why, and to make sure that you're throwing yourself in the deep end in this thing that you're trying to do. Now, not how kind of thing. Just throw yourself in the deep end and learn a lot and absorb so much, because that'll ultimately lead to taking action. If I read my Bible a ton, completely throw myself in the deep end and just completely surround myself with it, then at some point it's going to get in here, and then at some point it's going to get out there through my actions. But this doesn't just go for that. This goes for anything else. If you want to start taking action on a bunch of things, let's say I'm going to take working out, for example, right? If I want to start working out, I can't just, you have to throw yourself, you have to throw yourself in the deep end with working out. You have to understand, okay, what is the purpose of me working out? First of all, what's the why? And then, what are my goals for this? So, what am I trying to achieve, and how can I structure my workouts so that they're optimized for that? And then, how can I, if you're going to a gym, how can you involved, So this goes for a lot of things, that if you're trying to take a certain action, you need to make sure that you are, especially if it's something you're serious about, YouTube. I wanted to start a YouTube channel, so I watched a bunch of videos on how to do this, right? And ultimately, there is a separation between the action and the information, right? I've talked about this before. You can absorb, you can learn as much as you want, but ultimately you have to take that first step to taking action. But there are certain things that can kind of creep into your mind subconsciously, and then they start overtaking your actions, even though you may not realize it. And that can either be for bad, or that could be for good. That could be for bad, where you're surrounding yourself with bad people, right? Bad friends, and then their behaviors start to creep in, and then you start doing those bad behaviors. Or this could be for good. So you're reading your Bible, you're surrounding yourself with good people, good friends, and their behaviors start to creep in, and you start doing what they do and being a better version of yourself, right? So yeah, that's what I learned today. Your actions stem from your heart what you truly believe, what your mindsets are, what your motives are. And I think that's why it's very important to clean that part up, or at least try to understand that part and try to feed into it good things. Don't feed your heart with bad things. Feed your heart with good things, because out of the heart stems your actions. And again, this can be used for good or bad. So that is what I learned today. If you had to take away one thing from this video, then it would just be that your actions are stemming from your heart, so act accordingly, right? Try to feed your heart as much good things as possible in order to make taking those actions a lot easier. If you liked this video, if you resonated with it at all, if you found it helpful, then I'd appreciate you hitting the like button. If you have any thoughts, any comments, tell me why I'm right, tell me why I'm wrong in the comments down below. I'd appreciate that. And yeah, join my Patreon for discussions about my videos. So I'm going to be doing occasional discussions about the videos that I'm posting so that we can just discuss things more and get more in depth with this so we can learn more from each other. So if you want to join my Patreon, it's completely free. I'll have it linked in the description below. This video is specifically recommended for you, so if you find that interesting, then definitely go watch it. You can subscribe in that corner, and if you subscribe, I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye!